Welcome back to Shedding Starlight. We began this season on 358 over 2 days by covering the year Roxas lived during his time in Organization 13. Today, we'll be doing a deep dive into the organization's imaginary 14th member, Xion.
It's implied that most of the members who joined the organization after the founding members were sought out and recruited. For example, in one of Kingdom Hearts 2's flashbacks, Xigbar alludes to recently finding Marluxia, and in Days, one of Roxas's missions with Xigbar is to scope out new recruits. Note that both of these were times when the organization had less than 13 active members. This is what makes Cyax's line to Roxas so interesting.
Just count the seats here. We have and always will be 13.
Xion was never considered a true member the way the others were. In Days' secret reports, Xemnas, Vexen, and Cyax refer to Xion's original name, an anagram without the letter X, as number I, referring to imaginary numbers in mathematics. Xion was created by Vexen as a blank replica inside Castle Oblivion, and was later brought into the organization. This is the opposite of the replica that would eventually copy Riku, where Vexen writes in Days' secret reports, "I intend to take the other vessel, judged unfit for number status, to Castle Oblivion, where I will subject it to further testing." Vexen's replica program, duplicating people's abilities and identities, was one of Xemnas' highest priorities.
However, our efforts were severely derailed by Vexen's untimely demise. Needless to say, losing Vexen was not part of our plans.
Remember that Vexen was not a traitor to the organization like Larxene and Marluxia. Axel only killed him to convince the traitors that he's one of them. And this isn't the only secret Axel kept about his time at Castle Oblivion. The other event Axel did not report on, to anybody, was the Riku replica developing its own identity independent from Riku. Because of this, the organization was unprepared when Xion did as well.
Xemnas and Xigbar conclude that through Sora, Xion was able to become her own person. We've discussed before on Shedding Starlight how memories seem to influence one's appearance, and Xion is the prime example. Depending on who's looking at Xion and their connection to Sora, she appears in different ways. For example, Xemnas sees Xion as Sora, who he fought in Kingdom Hearts 1 as a secret boss, as he writes in one of the secret reports. Through Roxas, Xion is assembling a copy of the hero of the Keyblade. As proof, she sometimes appears to take on his form to my eyes. Meanwhile, Xigbar writes that Xion resembles, and we quote, ... him. Okay, eerie. However, Cyax, who has no previous connection to Sora, only sees Xion with her hood up. Other than the vague facial necessities, she doesn't have any distinguishing features to him. The rest of the members were not initially informed that Xion was a puppet, but we don't really get to see from their perspective if Xion appears with her dark hair showing or with her hood up. A new Kingdom Hearts fan might assume that Axel sees Xion as Naminé exactly, blonde hair and all. As Axel writes in one of his reports, Xion is a girl, and she looks just like Naminé. However, it's important to remember that Axel doesn't meet Kairi until Kingdom Hearts 2. At this time, since Naminé is Kairi's nobody, her facial features are the only comparison to Xion that Axel has. So Axel sees Xion with her short dark hair like Roxas, Riku, and Naminé herself do.
Naminé, are you able to see my face?
Yes.
And of course, near the end of Xion's life, When the process of her replicating Roxas and Sora is complete, she then appears as Sora to everyone, including Roxas. When Xion fights Roxas as a final act of returning to Sora, she takes the form of what one could describe as if Sora made a lesser nobody. It has no face, only design aspects commonly associated with lesser nobodies in the silhouette of Sora from his Kingdom Hearts 1 design. After the fight concludes, Xion returns to appearing as her true self, a girl with dark hair, before passing away.
It's important to remember that when Xion was first created, she was not predestined to be connected to Roxas or Sora. That connection had to be forced. That's why Cyax assigned Xion and Roxas missions together, even later on when the two as a pair proved to be a thorn in the organization's side. This is also implied to be why Xion was sent on missions to Destiny Islands, to further link her with Sora and his past. Because Xion can replicate anyone she's around, this is why she saw Riku's memory of Xion while she was on Destiny Islands. Had she been assigned missions with other organization members, it's likely she would have copied them or saw their memories as well. The most obvious ability Xion copied was being able to summon a Keyblade of her very own. Riku seems to have been wrong about her Keyblade being a sham. It might have ended up just being as genuine as Roxas or Sora's. Near the end of days, after Xion passed away, Roxas goes to the world that never was. In the original DS version, tragically left out of the HD movie, Roxas summons both his and Xion's Kingdom Key before turning them into Oathkeeper and Oblivion. The very same Keyblades we see Roxas use in Kingdom Hearts 2 to fight Riku, Axel, and later Sora himself.
Xion's Keyblade existing beyond herself carries a strong implication. Naminé says that Xion's presence is so heavily tied to other people's memories of her that by removing herself, they will all forget her. And sure enough, as soon as Xion returns to Sora, everyone begins to forget her. But if Xion's Keyblade still lingers on, close to Roxas' heart, perhaps Xion is the same.
Roxas, don't be sad. I came from you and Sora. I am you, the same way that I am Sora. You'll forget me, but the memories themselves will never go away. Memories of you and me will always be together, forever inside him.
My dog is so cute, Hannah. He just is excited to come into the closet with me, and then he just lays down.
I love him. I think we have to start the episode with that, or start the recording with that.
I'm fine with that. You can always cut out the parts of me grunting as I'm trying to get comfortable onto the floor.
Mel's in the closet. Haha.
Not anymore. Not anymore. Hannah, how are you?
Mel, I'm good. We're talking about a girl today. We're talking about a girl.
And not only a girl, we're talking about, like, the best girl.
The best girl. Who is more human in her puppetness than any of these bitches.
Yeah.
In the fucking organization.
She's really incredible. This is like, okay, so I know that right now I'm known in the Kingdom Hearts community for being like, oh,
lore master. Like, I know all the lore, or whatever. But
Are you not? I have to kick you off if you're not.
But, I just whacked myself in the face with my pop filter. Okay,
Oh my god.
But I wanted to say that when I first joined Kingdom Hearts, it was a relatively straightforward plot. And so it was characters like Xion that got me into the plot, that got me into the story. It was like Kingdom Hearts, I came for the characters. I stayed for the lore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was the characters, the fact that they're able to build someone like Xion in one game, like, that's what got me into the series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Even though Days was not my first Kingdom Hearts game, but, like, still.
Yeah. And it's so sad that she and kind of this game are very overlooked through the whole series. So we're here to explain to you why she's important and why she is the way she is.
Yeah.
And
this would have been I hate the fact that I moved recently, because this would have been such a good episode to really prepare a guest for. I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah. This would have been such a good guest episode.
Which we won't have any guests this season, but we have a bunch lined up. So we're rubbing our hands together, being evil, getting some of your favorite content creators on the show. Ooh. So look forward to that. We'll probably have one next season. Probably.
Fuck
we'll
yeah.
See.
Birth by Sleep. Be there or be Square Enix.
Yeah. Oh my god. Squaresoft.
Yeah, Squaresoft.
So I wanted to start this discussion going over a point that we didn't really touch on a lot in the script.
Which is an overlook on my part.
I mean, they kind of explain it just by itself in the cutscenes anyway. But my biggest question is, like, why does Xion look like Kairi to Roxas? And I went again through the cutscenes and I compiled a bunch of quotes that kind of explain why.
Yeah.
In an attempt to explain it to myself. It's like, and from my research, what I could kind of gather is that Xion is a collection of Sora's memories about Kairi. And then Naminé also says, "Your Kairi as Sora remembers her." But then also Xion is developing her own identity, which is why she kind of looks like Kairi, but also different. How, on a scale of 1 to 10, how correct am I?
I mean, it's just like one of those Kingdom Hearts, like, okay. Do you want me to be 110% honest?
Yes, please.
I wasn't listening because I realized you were really loud in my microphone, and
oh no,
I was telling Hannah that right now my current setup is fucking awful because I just moved and I don't have a fucking desk, and so I have to like sit on the floor with this blanket on top of me, and Hannah was loud in my ears, so I had to.
I'm so sorry.
I had to take off the blanket and turn her down, and then there's an airplane flying over, and I realized that the airplanes here fly over every 2 minutes. Is it that fucking crazy? I'm like, damn, they're just trying to shove people out of here. Like, what in the world?
That's crazy.
I know, but it's gone for now, and I'm under the blanket. So can you please rephrase what you said?
So I said, so there's a couple like different but also similar explanations that are given.
Yes.
They say like they say both, like, you are a collection of Sora's memories of Kairi. And then Naminé says, you're Kairi as Sora remembers her. But then at the same time, she is developing her own, like, identity, personality. So she looks a little bit like Kairi, but also different.
Yeah. I think that's mostly good.
Okay.
So in a way future game, in Dream Drop Distance, but don't worry, I won't give any of the context of who's saying what and about who and whatever. But this character talks about how sometimes when people are not really real, sometimes just by interacting with them and talking to them, that they kind of become more solidified in their existence. And I almost feel like that's what happened to Xion. Even though this person was not talking about Xion at all, I still feel like we can maybe see a semblance of that in her, where maybe at first she literally only looked like that because Roxas is Sora's nobody, and so he was seeing Kairi. But I do think that as time progressed and as they became friends and as they started talking with each other and laughing with each other, that Xion, yes, still resembles Kairi, but became like her own independent figure. Yeah.
Figure. Yeah.
Figure. But something that popped up into my head just now was the black hair. Like, okay, well, why does she have black hair?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? And there are a handful of characters in Kingdom Hearts with black hair. And, like, half the time I think it's really just, like, genetics. Like, they were just born that way. Like, they just have black hair. Like, what of it? But there's another character that has black hair. And I think the thing that character and Xion have in common... I'm sorry about that airplane. You guys, this is just where I live now. So, and I'm literally deep in the trenches of my house, avoiding any windows. So if you can still hear it, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry about that. But I think one thing Xion has in common with this other character with black hair is that to me, the black hair almost seems like it's symbolic of them missing something. Like, Naminé told Xion that in exchange for not having her own memory, she exists through other people's memory. And so I feel like Xion having this kind of lack of identity is what gave her that black hair. But maybe as Roxas got to know her more, like Kairi without being Kairi, like Kairi being a negative version of her because she's not actually her, she's just a memory of her.
Yeah.
Which, like, I love Kingdom Hearts, but that is so Kingdom Hearts logic. Like, there's no other way to fucking describe what the hell is happening here, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like as Roxas gets to know Xion, I don't know how else to explain it other than Xion solidifies. That's the only word I could think of. But
I mean, I guess that's a good way to put it. That's a good word to use. 'Cause, like, yeah, like they use the words, like Xemnas says, Sora himself began to shape it into her, using the word shape. I don't know, so she kind of forms and is being molded. Because she's a puppet. And
who was blank at first.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting, like, looking at this list of quotes, seeing how each of these characters describes it. Because Naminé says, did you know her face was blank at first, but now there's a face that's clearly visible. Just kind of not putting any verb on it, just kind of describing it as, like, in, like, almost a magical way.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. And then Xemnas, who's been trying to mold her for his own means, you know, trying to use her, kind of, like, talks about her like a tool to be sharpened almost.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring that up first thing.
Yeah.
Because
I wish
Go
I
ahead.
could give like a really practical explanation of why Xion looks like Kairi, but like it really is just Kingdom Hearts logic. Like
Yeah.
we're talking about puppets and memories and
yeah. Because
like-
Sora likes Kairi. That's the explanation. And then moving on from this, I have a second question, which is maybe just a detail that I missed. So I think it's right after Xion attacks Xigbar in Wonderland. Xion pulls down her hood. I forget what the actual quote is, but whatever Axel sees on Xion's face makes him gasp.
yeah.
And did I miss the explanation for what he sees there?
No.
Okay. So what is it?
So I think you did write down, did he see Sora? And I
Yeah.
personally think so. Because
Okay.
this is the day that Xion really starts acting out. From like
Yeah.
the morning she woke up, she's acting out. And I think it's because what Axel describes, how he explains it later to Roxas, is he says, well, it was only a matter of time until someone broke the mirror. And so I think one day Xion woke up, looked in the weird mirror in their minimalist room that apparently they all live in, and
Yeah.
she probably saw that she looked like some random brunette boy and
Yeah.
was like, what the fuck? And I think she like put up her hood, tried to hide it. And maybe that's why Xigbar's comments on how she looked was really pissing her off, because she's like, I know
Yeah.
I look fucked up today. I don't know what's going on. And so, she already knew something was going on, because when she takes off the hood to show Axel, she says, you gotta let me go, because
Yeah.
look at me. Like, something's wrong. I have to leave. And so I think that this is the day when Xion started to look like Sora, because time was nearing and her time was up, is what I think, personally.
And then later she still appears as Xion to Roxas right before they fight.
Right before,
Really?
Right before they fight, she takes off her hood and she looks like Sora.
Oh, does she show up with the hood? Okay, hold
Yes,
on.
she shows
I'm
up with the hood up. Yeah.
Okay. That makes more sense. Okay. I'm double checking you on that
That's okay.
because
It's
I
there's
remembered it differently.
there are so many cutscenes where just from different camera angles, Xion looks different. So I do not blame
Yeah.
people for like wanting to double check, because maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I missed a detail.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so she's here with her hood up. Hood up. Oh yeah. Wait. She stands up, starts monologuing. Which, good for her.
Good for her.
Yeah, okay, you're right.
Okay.
You're so right.
Well, I'm glad.
I'll never question you again.
No, I'm glad we checked. Once we get into future Kingdom Hearts things, we can talk about all the times I'm wrong.
See, I think maybe I was thinking that because when she has her hood up, you can still kind of see like her feminine features on her face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I do think that is something that I do think we could point out, is that when Xion supposedly has like a blank face and her hood is up because she has no face or whatever, you can still, like graphic wise, you can kind of look under the hood and be like, well, girl, that's your eyes. Like, what are you talking about? I personally...
You got those lips, girl.
Yeah. I personally think that's just like a graphic thing that they just thought, okay, well, modeling a hood above will do all the work,
Yeah. For sure.
So I wanted to take note of Cyax, who we said in the presentation
does not see her as anything. He sees her with that blank face. Mm-hmm. And I personally feel like it's not just because Saïx never met Sora. He has no connection or past or history with Sora. I also feel like it's because Saïx was one of the few people who knew that Xion was a puppet. And so I think, one, because he seems like resentful of Axel hanging out with Xion and Roxas, and also knowing the fact that she's a puppet, and he's probably thinking like, what the fuck, Axel? What do you even see? Like, it's literally not real. Like, why are you getting all up in arms about this thing that's not even real? So I think that he doesn't see Xion with a face because he's biased against her. He knows she's a puppet, so why would he ever see humanity in this thing that he knows was coded to copy people? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's what I think.
Yeah. I think that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, very Diz not seeing nobodies as real people as well.
So true.
Yeah.
So true. Saïx, move over. You and Diz go in the dumpster together. Jump in.
Oh my god, they could be friends.
Resentful buddies. They can have a drink over revenge or something.
Yeah. And it's so, oh man, it's so like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like punching down. Since Saïx is a nobody, Diz sees him as a lesser being, and now this nobody who is supposedly a lesser being is looking at something else as a lesser being, or something that's not real.
It's so true.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
Because it's like a political channel, I won't say the name just in case. I don't know. I don't want us to get super into politics, but they had this phrase that they coined up called Tiffany's Law. And it's how every freak feels the need to feel superior to a different kind of freak. And that really like changed my perspective on myself, where I was like, oh my God, I totally make fun of this group of people because I feel like an outcast and I need to feel superior in some way. So you pointing that out in Saïx, I think is really true, especially because in Kingdom Hearts 2, Saïx always talks about wanting a heart, not having a heart, not being human. He wants to be human again. He's, he doesn't seem sick of being a nobody, but he definitely wants to move forward in the world.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's such a good point. The other thing I wrote was, I wonder if like the other members of the organization, like maybe Demyx, because Demyx seems nice, that maybe he saw Xion as a girl, but then maybe someone like Zaldin, who seems like really cold and calculated and heartless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
maybe.
Heartless.
I could imagine him seeing Xion as just a puppet if he doesn't give a fuck about her.
Yeah. There was a point, I said this while I was recording my script portion. There was a line of, it was about like, oh, if Xion went with other organization members on missions, then maybe she would have seen their memories as well. And I was like, and damn, ain't that too convenient for the plot, huh? That we don't get to see their memories as well. Ugh.
That's funny. That's funny. Okay, so I wanted to write about Xion's boss form because, in my opinion, I almost wonder if the way Xion... Have you seen what Xion looks like when Roxas is fighting her?
Yeah.
So I almost wonder that if... Two things. One, if Roxas wasn't born, like, elephant in the room, Roxas doesn't look exactly like Sora when he's supposed to. So there's that. But then also, even if Roxas did look exactly like Sora, he's still a superior nobody.
So I almost feel like if Sora created a lesser nobody, like something similar to the Dusks or the Dancers or the Berserkers or whatever.
Yeah.
I wonder if Sora's nobody would have looked like that boss form. That's kind of what I got from that.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like him.
It really, and it looks like him. Something that I think is such a good detail is that it looks like him from Kingdom Hearts 1 and not taller. You know, I guess, by the time Kingdom Hearts 2 starts, Sora is still wearing that old outfit. But I mean, like, he's taller, he's lankier, he's like a teenager, not just like a boy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, very interesting. That's what I think. And something else I wanted to point out about this form is that Xion does not use her Keyblade during any part of this boss battle, even during the DS version where you actually fight her. She's using, like, sword-shaped weapons that are just kind of weird and Kingdom Heartsy. But no Keyblade. No Keyblade.
Is it like the wooden sword? I didn't actually watch the fight.
No, they're like... How do I explain it? Let me see if I can find a picture.
I was watching a no commentary playthrough for some of these scenes. So let me pull that up. I'm just curious.
Here, let me send you this.
I opened one of my my videos and it's just Zigbar fucking dead on the ground in front of Xion.
She really, like, rings his bell, dude. She knocks him the fuck out.
Yeah, she fucks him up immediately. It's great. Alright, where's this boss fight? Bro.
I did send a picture in Discord.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I see. I do want to, like, watch a little bit of the fight, though, just to, I don't know, look at the mannerisms and stuff. Yeah, that's so interesting. I guess, like, every kind of lesser nobody has, like, that little symbol.
Yeah.
That's on top of the swords. Somewhere on their design.
Look, here's
so
another
that makes
version.
sense.
This one is cool. Where she has, like, wings. She's, like, flying around.
Damn, that's cool.
I know. Days did some cool things with the Heartless in this game. I mean, obviously Xion's a nobody, but when you're part of the organization, you're not fighting nobodies. Damn,
she gets huge too.
Yeah.
She's enormous. She's like as big as the clock tower. That's crazy.
Which is like, do we ever talk about that? No. I don't even know
crazy.
How to explain that other than, well, final boss magic. Like, I don't know. Why does Xemnas have a black and white organization co at the end of Kingdom Hearts 2? I don't know. We don't talk about final forms.
For aura farming. Damn. Yeah, this is... And it's Sora's outfit and everything. That's... Yeah.
I saw someone try to say it was armor, like armor from the Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix secret ending. And I disagree. It doesn't strike me personally as armor. It just strikes me as a nobody version of Sora.
Okay.
That's what I think.
I kind of see it. I kind of see
I do
the
get
armor.
It. I do get it.
Yeah. Ugh, she's so cool. She's so cool. Yeah, I love that. I love, like, just, like, getting to know some of the people in this community who, like, analyze gameplay and stuff. It has really made me appreciate some of the, like, gameplay and like, boss fight elements and stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
But are we ready for me to move on to this point?
Yeah. We're taking a shift.
Yeah. I want to talk about just, like, Xion's character arc through this whole thing. And I just think, like, as I was watching through the cutscenes, her scream after she fights Riku at Beast Castle is like so crazy and so like heart-wrenching. Plus it comes after the conversation with Roxas and Axel talking about like losing things that are important and how nobodies don't have the capability of feeling, so like that, you know, whole concept doesn't really make sense to them, but it does because they feel like they're feeling things, but they're being told that they're not able to feel things. It's such a stark contrast of like the propaganda that they're being fed, and then like, you know, to see that cutscene with Xion on the ground wailing because she's being told that she's fake and that her Keyblade is a sham.
Aww.
And it's like, it's
little
like,
baby girl.
She's 0 days old. Leave her alone. And I think she is the most human of all of them after being put through the fucking ringer by these men.
Yeah.
And
it's interesting. Oops, sorry. Yeah. I hit my
No, go ahead.
Again. It's interesting that those words that really gutted Xion came from Riku, because right now it seems like Riku has gone through a lot of his own developments.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think Riku said it to hurt her. And if anything, it might be that Riku didn't realize how human she was at this moment. Like, maybe he thought, like, well, like, as far as I know, the only person with the kingdom key is my friend Sora, and you're obviously not him. So if your Keyblade's not real, then, you know, maybe, you know, you're not real, or I don't know what he was thinking. Or maybe, you know what? It's also possible that Riku believed Diz, when Diz is like, nobodies don't feel anything. Like, they don't feel anything. And what's interesting is that in Kingdom Hearts 2, I don't think Yen Sid says this. I think it's Saïx. I think Saïx explains that the reason why nobodies are so convincing in their emotions is because they have memories. So they remember that when you're sad, you cry. Or they remember that when you're happy, you laugh. But the thing about Roxas and Xion is that they don't have those memories. So why are they still experiencing all of these extreme emotions when they're not supposed to?
God, that just, like, the way you described that, I feel like really reminds me of, like, how people with depression function.
Oh,
like,
so true. Oh.
Like, they not, like, you know, depression, for those who are not, you know, super familiar with the subject, depression is not just feeling sad, it's like the absence of emotion. So like, in order to still kind of fit in with friends and socialize, you know, oh, this joke is supposed to be funny, I should laugh here. Or like, this movie is supposed to be sad, I should cry. I don't actually feel it, but like, I know I should be doing this in this moment. And it's like a conscious thought instead of actually feeling. And it's, that's, I don't know what connection I need to make there, but like, the way you described that just made me think of that.
You're so
phenomenon.
You're so right. And again, I think that's why this game connected so many people, or connected with so many people, is because that's the thing about Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is really interesting because it doesn't ever use terminology used in real life. But there are so many things that mirror real human phenomena, real human experiences. They just have, like, Kingdom Hearts just has, like, its own vocabulary of how to describe it. But, like, we all identify it.
Yeah.
It's so
interesting. It's so nice to, like, with this story of, I mean, like, these people, these characters finding their sense of identity eventually and you know, overcoming this, like, you're not supposed to feel, you don't feel, you know, finding out that that's wrong, and, you know, finding out things for themselves and making themselves better and finding their own power and identity. And it's, I don't know, it's like, it does have a sad ending where, you know, Xion decides to return to Sora and everyone forgets her. But I don't know, it was her choice to do that. It was her choice to make things the way they should be in her eyes. And
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very empowering.
Mm-hmm.
This story. So yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
To kind of circle back a little bit to Riku, I just wrote down here, after this fight between Xion and Riku, the soft spot that Riku eventually gets for Xion is so precious. I forget what exact, when exactly the conversation is, but the conversation of, Riku letting Xion decide what she wants to do. I don't know. He talked very Big Brother tone to her.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I love this. I love Riku, dude.
I wish I read this in note. I wish I read your bullet point on this as I was talking about, why would Riku say that to her? Because you're right. Clearly, the next time he sees Xion, he's like, oh, you're just confused. You're just, not confused in a bad way, but, you're clearly so conflicted, and you clearly feel bad about holding in this, my friend's memories that you can't even control. I'm not going to try and guilt you anymore. I'm not going to try and, maybe not even anymore. I'm not going to try and guilt you. I'm not going to try and shame you. I would appreciate it if you did something that would bring my friend back to me, but I'm not going to make you. You're right. Yeah. He's very gentle with her, very kind for her.
Mm-hmm. Finally, someone with this one-day-old girl.
I know. Okay, I wanted to take a shift back. Something that we talked about in this script, in this presentation, is how Vexen was so important to Xemnas's plans. He was so important to Xemnas's plans. And, at one point, Xemnas pretty much says, fuck, Vexen died, you guys. I don't know how that happened. And then the camera pans over to Axel. And Axel's like, but,
oh, God.
In a lot of the organization meetings that are, top secret, it's Xemnas, Xigbar, and Saïx. And I almost feel like if Vexen didn't die, that Vexen would have been a part of these top secret meetings, because these secret meetings were always about Xion or about certain secret plans the organization had at Castle Oblivion that we never even know about, because every single time we cut to these scenes, they're done talking about Castle Oblivion, and then the conversation moves on to Xion, and it's wait, well, what were you talking about before? Drives me crazy. Yeah. But it's just interesting. And the thing that I also think is interesting is that Vexen was number 4. So it's Xemnas number 1, Xigbar number 2, and then there's Xaldin, the guy with the dreadlocks, who's number 3. Mm-hmm. But he's never in these meetings. He didn't even know that Xion was a puppet. And then it skips over to Vexen as number 4. So it's why did we skip Xaldin? Did Xemnas be what was it about Xaldin that Xemnas was he's not gonna cut it. He can't know about this. Isn't that so weird? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he didn't care.
You know what? Maybe he really didn't care, because certainly in Kingdom Hearts 2, Xaldin is so apathetic and so cold-hearted that I could...
Yeah. Not
that I think Xemnas is no, he's too mean to be a part of this group, but rather that perhaps Xaldin... Saïx is number 8, or number 7, excuse me, and he's in this inner circle. So, and Saïx is working his fucking ass off in the organization, that I wonder that if Xemnas was okay, well, Xaldin doesn't give a fuck, but you clearly do, Saïx. This is something we're going to talk about in a couple episodes. But Xemnas was you can come in because you seem really serious and really dedicated. But anyway.
Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to bring up, and this is not really important, but we talked about it before, so we might as well just carry on the thought. In Kingdom Hearts 2, we talked about
the Garden of Assemblage, which is that room where you fight all of these data copies of all the organization members. And I wanted to bring this up, one, because Xion is clearly not a part of this, even though we fight Roxas here. So part of me wondered if, by the way, once again, this room is never talked about. So this is pure theory. This isn't even like we're planning scenes for the future. Like, we're not. But Vexen, I mean, one thing I do think is important to remember for the future is that Vexen loved taking notes. He was a note taker.
Yeah.
He loved recording all of his different little projects. That's how Axel found out that Xion was a puppet, was through Vexen and his notes on her and Naminé. But I almost wonder if Vexen, because Vexen was such a note taker, to the point where I'm pretty, I would think that Vexen, because he created the replica for Riku and Xion, that he had like detail writings of how these replicas worked or something, because that makes me wonder if he's the one responsible for the Garden of Assemblage. If he knew Xion was fake, she wasn't a real member.
Yeah.
He clearly loves recording people's data, like he did for Riku or whatever. That maybe he was somehow responsible for this weird Garden of Assemblage. I don't know that for sure, but I thought I'd throw that out there.
What was the conclusion we came to last time? That this maybe Diz did this? Maybe?
I don't remember if we came to a conclusion. I feel bad that I didn't listen to that episode to see what we had to say.
I don't remember.
Sorry, everybody.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, that makes sense to me. That, like, yeah, he would purposely not include Xion in this group.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Especially because
something to chew on.
Xion and Roxas, Xion only joined like a week after Roxas. So if it was someone who didn't know that Xion was a puppet, then it wouldn't have, that whole thing would have had been planned or made within that 1 week, you know, and that's just like crazy.
Yeah.
Who can fucking build all that in 1 week? So
yeah.
That's what I think. Anyway.
We have emails. We have email questions. We have a lot of questions.
We did.
Episode.
We can look through. Thank you, everybody. Thank you
for your question.
Yes.
This first one is from how do I say this? Chared? Chared?
I was hoping you would read this one so that you could say it.
I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that.
I want to say Chared.
Yeah, probably Chared. Like Jared, but with a CH instead of a J.
Yes. Apologies.
So they said, apologies. They said, considering Roxas, Xion, and Axel's relationship they formed across the entire game, what exactly caused Xion to fight Roxas at the very end? I suppose I just don't understand what was going on in her thought process that would lead her to make this decision, ultimately forcing Roxas to end Xion's existence. Sometimes I wonder if Xemnas or one of the other organization members did something to force the confrontation. What do you think?
So, I will say, we did not talk about this last episode because there's just so many things to mention in a span of a year that I did leave smaller things out. But one of the things that did happen, and this was like really late in the game, it happens on day 352. So that's like 5-6 days before Roxas gets captured. So something that happens is Roxas and Xion are set up to fight each other at one point.
Yeah.
I think in the Days cutscene movie, this is just like one of those text scenes. You don't actually get to see it in a cutscene. But what the organization did somehow, I don't know how they pulled this off.
I don't know either.
Was from Roxas's perspective, Xion looked like a Heartless. And from Xion's perspective, Roxas looked like a Heartless. So they were fighting each other. And they only stopped because Axel knew about it. And he stopped them. He was like, you guys are going to kill each other. You have to stop. And the reason why this happened, I'm pretty sure this is after Xemnas decides that Xion is a better fit. And he was like, well, we don't need Roxas anymore. Let's just get rid of him.
and let's have Xion do it. Like, why not? Which is crazy. I'm like, you don't even have the decency to do it yourself. Get off your little white throne, you asshole. But I do think that maybe Xemnas really did need Xion to do it. That he needed them to fight each other. Because something that happens a lot in Kingdom Hearts, I think this is kind of our first instance where we really had to experience it, was... Okay, I got lost in my own grammar. I realized I phrased this sentence wrong. But something that happens a lot in Kingdom Hearts, and this is the first time we ever get to see it, is the idea of fighting, and somehow when you're in a weird scenario and the person you're fighting is in a weird scenario, by fighting, you are affecting each other. And the reason why I have to clarify that it's like a weird scenario is like, it's not like when Roxas fought Riku that something happened and now they're different. Like, Riku did have to give into the darkness, but he made that choice himself. That wasn't because of his fight with Roxas. Or like, you know, when Sora and Riku fight in Kingdom Hearts 1, it's not like they came out being different. There's like a chemical weird change in their bodies now. But that is something that we're going to see in the future. And we see it with Roxas and Xion, where for some reason them fighting triggered the change. And I almost feel like I wonder if like there's nothing to back I have nothing to back this up. But like by fighting, you're kind of like connecting with your opponent. You're focusing on them, and there's so much emotion involved that I don't know. I almost wonder if that's like the catalyst. Catalyst.
Yeah.
I wanted to say cataclysm, and I was like, that's not the word.
No.
But that's what I think.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I kind of wonder the same thing that this person asks. So do you think that was like motivating her to attack Roxas then?
So I guess the good question is okay, so sometimes fighting someone can change you. How would Xion know this? I think that is a good question, and one that I can't really answer, how she knew. Like, maybe it was like an instinct where she was like, if I fight Roxas, that's how I can return to Sora. But
yeah,
I couldn't tell you how she knew that. Because, like, maybe Riku told her. But then how would Riku know? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. That is a good question.
It's an interesting question. I kind of felt like the way I kind of read it in the cutscenes as I was watching it is that, like, I don't know, there are plans of her, like, copying Sora. Like, it's so weird seeing evil Sora. The evil Kingdom Hearts 1 Sora.
I have to make you a part of me, too.
It just, like, I don't know, like, the fact, it's like Xemnas' plans, like, coming true, like, fully working, I guess. And I don't know, her just falling under that influence, but I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting question.
It is an interesting question.
Makes for a cool boss fight.
It sure does. It sure does. I will say that I'm pretty sure, I don't know, it is weird because, like, Xemnas, if I recall correctly, Xemnas wanted Xion. He was like, she's the better fit.
Yeah.
But in the end, she is the one who didn't survive. And then Axel left the not Axel. Then after she passed away, Roxas left the organization. So Xemnas is like, fuck, like, we can't even use plan B. Like, what the hell are we going to do?
I think it was because Roxas was, like, losing his powers or something. Or his powers were being sapped or something.
You're right.
He was getting weaker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is so interesting. The implication that that's such a good point, Hannah, that Xion didn't copy Roxas. She was, like, absorbing him.
Yeah.
That's fucking weird.
That's wild.
That's weird.
Weird. Filtering the Sora memories through the Roxas filter.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, now do we want to do these Adrian questions?
Let me look at these. I at least want to do his first one. What time are we at? I have the blanket over me?
We're at like almost 50 minutes.
Whoa! Okay, we
crazy.
can do the first one. I really like his first one.
Okay. So this next question is from...
I don't know what pronouns Adrian has, sorry.
Okay. This next question is from Adrian. And Adrian asks, why do you think Xion's appearance isn't consistent for everyone that looks at her the way Replica's was?
Okay, so something that I think the reason why Replica Riku turned out so different from Xion, because, like, you would think that even though Vexen was like, oh, Replica, I want to call him Replica Riku no matter what, even though technically what I'm about to say is before the replica copied Riku. So right now it's just like a blank replica. But like that's too long. I'm just going to say Replica Riku. But Vexen is like, even though Replica Riku is weaker, I'm going to send it, and it therefore unfit for number status, like it doesn't belong in the organization. I'm going to take it to Castle Oblivion. So you would think that like the Replica Riku would be more glitchy, even though clearly it seems like Xion is the one who experienced a shit ton of more glitches going on in her system. But I feel like the reason why Replica Riku seems to be more stable, seems to be more advanced, is because Vexen was able to collect data directly from Riku himself via that card system.
Yeah.
And, here's the other interesting thing. Vexen collected the card data from Riku while they were fighting. So it's like there's another instance of fighting somehow being a trigger for no reason other than just an excuse in the Kingdom Hearts lore. But
they're touching.
They're touching, yeah. But what was I gonna say? I wonder, something that I do wonder about is if Vexen didn't die, if he would be able to collect data from Sora himself, from Castle Oblivion possibly, or even from Roxas later, if he would be able to make Xion way more precise. Maybe Xion would look exactly like Roxas because, Vexen would be able to just copy the data. Maybe she would look exactly like Sora from the very beginning if he copied data from Castle Oblivion,
Yeah.
But because he died, I think whatever he was able to do with Replica Riku, the organization was not able to copy those same exact methods onto Xion because they didn't know how. I think they were just like, well, let's just put her with Roxas and let's see what happens, because we don't have the fucking coding weird experiment knowledge that Vexen has.
So then, Mel, what's the deal with the one that Zigbar saw, huh?
Okay. We're gonna talk about that next episode. Next episode.
I say we do one more question.
Okay, let's pick a good one.
I want a new submitter. I want to...
Yeah!
If that's okay. Do you want to do this one?
Yes, I do. We just can't read that last sentence, but yeah.
Okay. So this one is from Philip, who is a new submitter. Hello, Philip. Thank you for submitting your question.
Hi, Philip. Welcome.
So Philip asks, so was Xion ever really a nobody, or was she just told she was by the organization?
Okay, so at one point in one of the secret reports, I think it's early on because Vexen has to be alive because he's the one who writes this. I think he says something like, "It can't number I
possibly be described as a nobody itself or something. But I think in saying that, what he was just referring to was like an empty being with no heart that can still move around and register its surroundings. But beyond that, I personally don't think Xion can be considered as a class of nobody. And I think, to me, the reason why is because nobodies come from a person. They're made from a human being. And Xion was made from the ground up. She didn't come from any particular individual. Like, the closest we have is that she just looks like Kyrie, but she didn't come from Kyrie.
Yeah.
So that's what I think.
Yeah. She literally, the word imaginary is part of her name.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I would agree with you on that.
But you're so right, Hannah, when you say that she turned out to be the most human of them all, dude.
Which is just so Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah.
It's so Kingdom Hearts to, start from almost nothing to turn into a feeling thing that is more human and more feeling than anything else in the fucking room with it.
Yeah.
And that's our last question for today.
We had a lot. Sorry we couldn't get to them all.
Yeah, we had a lot of questions, and our regular discussion portion just took a long time today because we had so much to say.
We did. She's just so great to talk about.
We love her. So Mel, what are we talking about next episode?
So next episode, don't worry, y'all have been waiting, okay? We're gonna revisit Roxas now that we know more about his life, and we're gonna revisit his whatever weird connection he has with the Kingdom Hearts 2 secret ending. And how he looks like he's there in armor. Like, what the fuck? So we're going to revisit that. We're going to talk about that. Don't you worry, your pretty little head. Don't you worry.
Very good.
Yes.
Well, if you enjoyed the episode, please subscribe on YouTube and give us a thumbs up. And if you are listening on audio, feel free to give us a 5-star review. You know how we love our stars around here.
Yes, we sure do.
So give us as many as you can on Apple or Spotify, either one. We'll take them both. And if you have any questions about Roxas, send them to sheddingstarlight@gmail.com.
Yes.
And yeah, anything else, Mel?
I want to say this. Sometimes people, when they send us emails, they give us aliases to call them by, and that's what we start calling them by. Because sometimes emails have like a real first name, and you're like, please don't say my first name. Call me by my username or something. So if you're like that, if you're a new listener, maybe even an old listener, and you just never thought to give us an alias if you prefer, maybe like a username or something, go ahead and do that. At the bottom. Like, regards.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Please call me
X10 or something, whatever.
Amazing. Well, I think that's it from us.
Yes.
Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you in the Starlight.